Welcome to Shanghai, China's largest, most cosmopolitan, and definitely most glamorous city. Today we're going to take a little walking tour and I'm going to introduce you to this fabulous city. Shanghai is home to over 23 million people, and with its strategic portside location, it has been an important economic center for China for thousands of years. Because of this, it's cultivated a ton of international influence, specifically from European countries like France, England, and Germany. But it has still managed to maintain a lot of its traditional Chinese flavor, specifically pre-Cultural Revolution, with the glamour of the imperial era. Let's start by taking a quick stroll down the Bund, which used to be the international quarters, and it grew up around a lot of the financial houses that came in from Europe. It borders the Huangpu River, which is one of the major trading arteries for China. Over the last couple of decades, they've really developed this area. I remember I came here in '97 and there was nothing here. It was just a concrete pavement, but there was still a Bund. We're now going to cross over from the Bund and go down Nanjing Road, which is a really beautiful high-end retail boulevard.
Our first stop on Nanjing is the infamous Art Deco Peace Hotel, completed in 1920. During the late 1950s, this was the headquarters for the Gang of Four, the communist power center led by Mao Zedong's wife, Jiang Qing. Continuing down Nanjing, there's lots of local and foreign brands, including Apple and Gucci. The Shanghai fashion store, Shanghai Sizhuang Sangdian, is the largest fashion department store in China. Another European influence, the Outdoor Cafe.
We're headed just a few blocks away to lunch now. For lunch, we're going to eat across the street here at Shaoyang Senjian, or Yang's Dumplings.
Senjianbao are large soup dumplings fried rather than steamed. They are usually stuffed generously with meat fillings and made to order to keep the soup piping hot.
This one has a shrimp filling, and this one here has a cuttlefish filling. And this one here is the meat bun.
Check out the soup.
That's a little bit spicy, but not too much. That was quite yummy. I love the skin, which is nice and crispy on the bottom and really chewy on the top. Perfect combination. The filling was also quite delicious, and in addition to the cuttlefish or the shrimp, the filling is also made up of gluten, and the cuttlefish had some corn in it as well. The wheat gluten is kind of a very traditional vegetarian Chinese thing, and it's got a little bit of a chewy consistency that's a little bit meatier, so it's a really good substitute for being in like a meat bun like this. Yummy. Inside each of the buns is this really delicious soup, and the recipe usually calls for some sort of a congealed fat that gets wrapped into the buns, and when it cooks, it melts, and voila, you have soup. This is a great lunch, and we're gonna just hop in the car now and head down to Yuyuan Garden. We're gonna go back here now into the Yu Garden Market. This is a very, very old market that's been around for quite some time, and you'll see it's really crowded. Generally, markets will form around the temples, and these back here are the old city streets.
There are tons of little shops selling everything from tourist trinkets to household goods to handicrafts. You can even find some cultural items like a Chinese chop and red envelopes.
These shops are pretty geared towards tourists and therefore tourist prices. But there's a lot of room for bargaining, so before you put down your money, make sure you've reached the lowest price possible with a little bit of sly negotiations.
Don't forget to try the street foods, including the popular giant crab soup dumplings. Most of the architecture dates back to the Qing and Ming dynasties, about 500 years, and carefully restored. In addition to fantastic buildings with their intricate carvings and decor, there are remnants of the old city gates, a gorgeous central water feature with fountains, statues, water plants, charming bridges crisscrossing it, and giant koi and swans floating about. The juxtaposition of old and new is classically Shanghai.
Back behind me here is Yuyuan, or Yu Garden. In the olden days, a lot of nobility and government officials opened up their own garden, and they were very lavish things. This one was built by an official from the Ming Dynasty, and it has survived until today. It's a great place to go for a little quiet contemplation and to admire some natural beauty. I'm not going to go in today as I'm a little bit short on time, but if you do decide to go, there's a little bit of admission to get in. So we just missed it, but the market eventually spills out into the city god temple, or CHENGHUANGMIAO. This is one of the biggest and oldest temples in Shanghai. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Now we're off to dinner. For dinner, we're here in the very trendy Jing'an district, and we're eating here at Vegetarian Lifestyle, or in Chinese, Taozi. Let's go in and check it out.
This restaurant is exceptionally popular, and there are a couple of locations across Shanghai. Their approach on vegetarian is classic Chinese, focusing on mock meat substitutions in traditional dishes. The menu is quite extensive, so you're bound to find something everyone will like.
For vegetarian, the food is surprisingly flavorful. As the base, they use a lot of gluten and mushroom, but everything is carefully sauced to add some dimension to it. There's sort of a heavy helping of sweet and sour, as well as the traditional Sichuan flavors of spicy and mala. For a lot of the meats, like the sweet and sour pork ribs and the steak, they do a pretty decent job of simulating meat, although definitely you can tell eating it that it's not meat. It is a little bit on the pricey side, so be prepared to part with a little moolah when you come and eat here. That was a great end to our day here in Shanghai. We're going to head back now. Tomorrow we're going to continue our China adventures in Nanjing. Catch us next week for the next episode. Till next time, peace.